The Menendez family seemed to have it all. Jose, a successful Cuban-American executive; Kitty, his beautiful wife devoted to their two sons; Lyle and Erik, handsome and privileged; their life, a picture of the California dream. But behind the manicured lawns, a darkness festered. Jose pushed his sons relentlessly. Success was paramount. Kitty battled her own demons. Lyle exuded charm and charisma. Erik struggled to find his place. The Menendez home held a sinister secret. The perfect family portrait began to crack. Tensions escalated within the Menendez household. Jose, controlling and demanding, pushed his sons harder than ever. Kitty, increasingly unstable, withdrew further into herself. The boys, once inseparable, drifted apart. Lyle, expelled from college, spiraled into a world of petty crime and reckless behavior. Erik, withdrawn and introverted, turned to drugs and alcohol to numb his pain. Their parents' dreams of success seemed to slip further away. Whispers of abuse began to surface. Lyle and Erik, in hushed tones, confided in friends and family. They spoke of years of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse at the hands of their father. Kitty, complicit in her silence, turned a blind eye to the horrors unfolding within their home. The boys, desperate for an escape, contemplated running away. But where could they go? Who would believe their story? Fear and desperation tightened their grip on the Menendez brothers. A terrible plan began to form in their minds. August 20th, 1989, a sweltering summer night in Beverly Hills. The air hung heavy with unspoken tension. Inside the Menendez mansion, a scene of unimaginable violence unfolded. Gunshots, loud, echoing, and brutal. Jose and Kitty, relaxing in their den, didn't stand a chance. Their bodies, riddled with bullets, slumped on the blood-soaked couch. The illusion of perfection, shattered by the deafening roar of gunfire. Lyle and Erik, their faces splashed with blood and their hands trembling, stood over their parents' bodies. The smell of gunpowder filled the air, acrid and suffocating. Shock and disbelief washed over them. They had done the unthinkable. Panic set in. The brothers, desperate to cover their tracks, concocted a story. They would claim they had been out for the evening, returning to find their parents murdered by unknown assailants. They disposed of the murder weapon, a shotgun purchased days earlier. Section 4. The investigation, unraveling a web of lies and deceit. The investigation began immediately. Detectives descended upon the Menendez mansion, their eyes scanning for clues. Lyle and Erik, putting on a convincing display of grief, told their fabricated story, but detectives noticed inconsistencies. The brothers' stories didn't quite add up. Their alibis crumbled under scrutiny. The sheer brutality of the murders pointed to something more than a random act of violence. Suspicion fell on the Menendez brothers. Their lavish spending in the months following the murders raised red flags. They bought expensive cars, designer clothes, and extravagant vacations. Their grief seemed to be quickly replaced by a callous disregard for their parents' deaths. The police, piecing together the evidence, suspected a possible motive: greed. Had Lyle and Erik murdered their parents for their inheritance? The investigation intensified, focusing on the brothers' every move. Section 5. The Trial of the Century, a nation captivated by murder and mayhem. The trial of Lyle and Erik Menendez became a media sensation. The nation, captivated by the story of wealth, privilege, and murder, watched as the brothers' defense team presented a shocking claim: abuse. Lyle and Erik accused their father of years of sexual abuse. They painted a picture of a household ruled by fear and manipulation. The courtroom became a battleground for public opinion. Was this cold-blooded murder or a desperate act of self-defense? The jury faced an agonizing decision. The jury found Lyle and Erik Menendez guilty of first-degree murder. Section 6. Legacy of a Tragedy, the enduring fascination with the Menendez case. The Menendez brothers were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Their story, a cautionary tale of wealth, privilege, and the devastating consequences of abuse, continues to fascinate and horrify. The case sparked a national conversation about abuse, particularly within affluent families. It challenged societal perceptions of what a typical victim looked like. Lyle and Erik, despite their privilege, were forever marked by the trauma they endured. The Menendez case also highlighted the power of the media in shaping public opinion. The trial, broadcast live on television, became a cultural phenomenon, blurring the lines between entertainment and justice. The Menendez brothers remain in prison to this day. Their story, a tragic reminder of the hidden darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly perfect families, continues to resonate with the public.